Hello and welcome, Whale fam and everyone, to our artist fireside chat with Odious.
Hey.
I am your host, HeatherHrz, and thanks for being here, Odious.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Sure, yeah. Odious is a 22-year-old artist from UK, and I'm really excited to get to know you today. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey into getting into the NFT crypto art space?
Yeah, so on Twitter, I was following a bunch of artists before this eruption, I guess you could say. The likes of Ferocious, Parrotism, Jonathan Wolf, Etienne Krause. I saw them all making these humongous sales, and I was like, this is crazy. This doesn't feel real. I need to learn more about this. And I knew a bit about crypto because in 2017, I invested a little bit. I made some. I got burnt on quite a bit, so I wasn't really too good on the investment side of things. So I dropped that. So then coming back, I knew a little bit about crypto, and it only seemed right to jump into this space. And so I reached out to Lupify because he seemed like a very good mentor, if you will, a guide for a lot of artists, and he basically just showed me the ropes. He set up a group chat. There's a few other artists in there, and we got chatting, and we minted our first piece that week on Rarible, and yeah, the rest is history. And now I'm here talking to you guys.
When was that first mint on Rarible?
I think it was September, sometime in September. I can't remember exactly what piece it was. I think it was Hidden Beneath the Mask or something.
Excuse my slow internet while I pull that up.
Yeah, no worries. You might have to funnel through quite a few because I did a Pranksy calendar. So I've got 100 editions,
cool.
200 editions of this one every day is Christmas with You piece. Yeah.
So it's just wild that this was in September and that you've created so much since then. I mean, I can't do the quick maths of how many months ago that was, but not even. It's 6 months, right?
Yeah. So yeah, something like that. 6 months.
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, everything moves so quickly in this space, which is really a boon for artists.
Yeah.
So I saw that you used to be a freelance designer, which I come from that life too. Can you talk about the transition between being a freelancer and becoming a full-time artist?
Yeah, for sure. So straight out of college or university, I guess you could say, I jumped straight into graphic design. I knew from a very early age that the school route wasn't going to be the traditional, become a lawyer, become a doctor. That wasn't going to be for me. I wanted to find another creative outlet. I've never really done well in school, and I think that stems from the experiences I had at school. But yeah, sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
Just talking about the transition from becoming a freelancer to a full-time artist, and and I think the experience in school is important to know about because it shapes, these decisions that you make as an adult, and getting those messages that you have to become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, and then doing what you want to do anyway, is really, it's hard to do. So that's why I wanted to ask that question about the transition. Yeah.
Okay, so I've been doing graphic design straight out of college for about 4 years, I think. I thought it was amazing when I've made my first commission. I think it was $5 or something, and I was just over the moon because I made that off my own back. I didn't need a company, or it was just independence, I guess, and that made me feel great. And then over the course of that year, I started to build a following on my other account, my graphic design account, and I quickly began to get like more clients and get my name out there. Because I'm really interested in gaming, streaming, stuff like that anyway. So I sort of knew that market. So it only felt right to just jump in and just try and get involved in that community, to be honest. And then, yeah, I've always had this like creative spark. So I wanted to channel that into something that I can, help other people with. Clients, they need logos, they need stream designs, banners. Back then, that was crazy to me. That was making money just off my own back, really.
Mm.
And then,
especially with gamers too. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. So I made a lot of connections through that. I got signed to a big like a keyboard company. They were called Alpheria Keys. I started doing work for them, and then all of a sudden, the job that like I woke up every day like thinking it was my dream job, just became the only reason that I didn't want to wake up. Like it felt so weird that the thing that I've dreamt of for so long just wasn't where I wanted to be. Wasn't where I wanted to be. And so I started making art. I took all the skills that I learned over the 3 years, and put it into just the canvas, I guess you could say. It was just a place where I can get rid of my thoughts, transfer them somewhere else, just anywhere else, to be honest, because it wasn't doing good, just bubbling up inside me. And it's crazy that I've been able to grow a following in such a short amount of time, because people connect with the art that I put out, and I didn't intend for any of this to happen. It just happened.
Sorry, I was just looking at your art, and
no worries.
I mean, it makes sense why it just happened so quickly, because when I look at your art, it's just very evocative. I think it's interesting that you call yourself odious, because that means repulsive or unpleasant, and that this is all anything but that.
Thank you.
And yeah, there's just so much emotion in these pieces. It's really easy to connect with the characters in it. And actually, one of my questions for you was, where did this character come from that is recurring in a lot of your work?
Interesting. Okay, so I've always wanted to have a character, because I can transfer it to, I don't know, maybe toys in the future, games, whatever. I've always just wanted to be able to put myself into a character and just be able to distribute myself that way, market myself that way. So the actual concept for it was because I have like all these dark thoughts, and I guess you could say I put my demons on display. So I'm literally putting my demon on display here. It started out as a cactus, because I had the idea of thorns in my thoughts. That's always been my slogan, and that comes from the idea that I always have intrusive thoughts, and I wanna be able to release those. And so a lot in my previous work, my very first like couple of pieces, you'll see that my characters actually have thorns sticking out of them. That tells you a bit about my mindset at the time. If my characters have thorns, I wasn't doing great when creating this piece. When they don't have thorns, I'm in a much happier place when I was creating that piece. So it's a little Easter egg, I guess you could say, that not a lot of people know.
That's really cool. And I'm sure we can all identify with this idea of thorns in our thoughts and having these intrusive thoughts, even in happy moments. It's just
Yeah.
the mind likes to search for a problem to solve, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's when I see your work, I can, everything makes sense with the thorns in your thoughts, and yeah, it's just really beautiful work. So it makes sense to me why people were connecting to you so quickly.
Thank you.
And I really I dig the explanation about the thorns appearing and not appearing in your character and what that means. Can you talk about your technical process?
Yeah, sure. I've never actually done any physical paintings, to be honest. Jumped straight into digital just because I come from a graphic design background.
Wow.
Yeah, so
It
everything
was,
is all digital.
some of these I thought might have been like hybrid of hand painted and digital.
I wish, I wish. I just don't have that skill set. Obviously, it's definitely something that I want to
Oh,
learn in the future, but yeah, it's all digital. All Procreate. That app has changed my life.
yeah, I've heard good things about that. I literally just got an iPad today, so I'm really excited to get Procreate and check it out. It'll be my
Yeah,
first time. Yeah.
I think the iPad for any artist out there is like probably one of the best investments.
Well, that's exciting
Mm.
to hear.
So
Yeah.
I wish good luck to you. Yeah,
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing your work.
Thank you. But we're talking about your work right now. So I saw that you did a surprise drop
Mhm.
on Foundation, and that it sold for 6 ETH.
Yeah, to NFT Girl. Yeah, that
So
was crazy.
wild. So yeah, what was that like?
Well, this is actually a piece that I wanted to upload on Maker's Place a while back, and I wasn't sure how their minting system works, so I was waiting forever. I think like a month, maybe two, and so I just, even though it was my mistake for not knowing how it worked, I took that as this is probably not the piece for Maker's Place. So I held on to it, and then decided to mint it on Foundation the other day because I love that platform. I've only recently been introduced to it, but I've already picked up a few pieces from very underrated artists, and I think what they're doing, the whole artist on artist curation, is amazing. To be honest, it's what the community's been asking for a while now, and they are sort of delivering on that and listening to the community, and I think that's great. And so yeah, I decided to mint this piece the other day. I put it up for 6 ETH because my last sale was 10 ETH to Crypto
Awesome.
888. Yeah, he reached out in DMs and he was like, are any of these pieces available? That was crazy. But so I put it up for 6 ETH because it's always hard to price your artwork, but you also want to create value and keep that uptrend going from your previous collectors, right? So I thought 6 ETH was a nice happy medium, and then it was hit like a couple of hours later by NFT Go, and that was crazy. So the support lately has been like insane.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, that's what's so cool about this space, is just it seems to be life-changing for a lot of people very quickly. For collectors and artists too, it's pretty awesome. And I think it's just because, like you said, projects like Foundation and spaces like the whale community, people are just mutually supportive and like happy to see other people succeed and want to help if they have the means.
Yeah.
And even if it's not through, buying their NFTs, they're still, sharing their work on Twitter and, doing whatever they can to give the artists a platform.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I see a lot of people promoting, a lot of people collaborating, and I think it's really good for the space.
yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
one of the most supportive spaces I've been in.
Yeah. So we have a couple of questions from the chat, and I had a similar question. So this is, what was the most challenging thing you encountered while starting as an NFT artist?
Ooh, okay. The most challenging. I think just putting up your work, uh, and I don't know, just putting your work out there for people to buy is crazy because I've only actually been doing art for since July of last year. So I pretty much I got pretty lucky. I jumped into art and then this sort of came around at the exact same time. So it was I guess a bit of a roller coaster, I guess you could say. Most challenging though, I don't really know how to answer that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe getting onto the platforms was probably the most challenging because I used to have very illustrative work. You see, I don't know if you see my past work, but the just the minimal red and black characters in various situations and scenarios. I applied to Super Rare with those pieces and was rejected at first, and then I started. It kind of worked out because that rejection email made me look at my art and realize that I wanted to put more effort, more time into my pieces. Like those were daily pieces, they were just my everyday thoughts. I was putting them onto the canvas, throwing them out there for everyone to see. And then I started really diving deep into my mind and creating something more whole. And then I reapplied and I was accepted through that work. So I guess that would be my most difficult part of the NFT space.
Wow. And I mean, it doesn't look like, I mean, I look at your work and I'm like, wow, I can't believe they didn't accept you in the first place. But, and because it's your work, to me, has thought behind it and feeling. And, but, you know, this is clearly something that was really time consuming. I mean, creating it plus animating it. How long did it take for you to create this specific piece and or pieces like this? And yeah.
Sorry. I think this piece specifically took a couple days, 3 days maybe. The artwork itself, I did over a couple of nights. I like to work at night. I've always thought of myself as a night owl. I just seem to work better at night. And yeah, so I worked on this throughout the nights, and then once it was complete, I took it to After Effects and started animating there. I don't know if you've seen in a lot of my work, but I always like to have the clouds moving. That seems to be part of my style. That's sort of developing through animation. So that's pretty cool. And I just wanted to create a piece where you can look at it and you can see me. Music has definitely like changed my life. Just listening and being able to forget about the world. It really does just chill me out. Something about music just sets my mind at ease, and I can just drift off into my own little world, and that's what I wanted to recreate here.
Yeah, I totally see that. I feel the same about music. Actually, what do you listen to?
I listen to, well, my favorite band's probably Bastille. I've always liked them ever since my school days, and I think probably that's why I like them, because it got me through like some pretty dark times during school. But I like anything really, any genre. Just put it on, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to some emo music, I'll listen to country music, I'll listen to pop. I don't really have a preference, just whatever is on at the time, I'll listen to. But like I do like New Music Friday, just checking out the new music every week on Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah. I love to just dig for new music and see what's out there. And there's just so much. It's like impossible to hear everything. But that's what's so cool about it, is just there's always more, and I love how it can change your mood. It's definitely something that helps with getting through hard times too, I think.
Yeah,
for sure. One of the questions we have is, what's something that you want to explore but haven't dabbled in yet?
Ooh, okay. I really want to get my character into a game, a blockchain game. I think that'd be great. I've reached out to the guys at Sandbox, and I have got my own character. I've created my own character, and that is ready when the marketplace is ready. I think being able to actually use the character in like a AAA game or something would be pretty crazy. So that is a very ambitious project, but yeah, just getting my character in a game that can live on forever. That sounds pretty awesome to me.
That sounds awesome, and absolutely possible for you in the near future. Like, I don't see why not.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, this is a character that has, I don't know, I just, I connect with it too, and, or with them. I don't even want to say it. It's like a person, or they're a person,
It's whatever you want it to be.
They're your demons. But sort of related to the previous question, is just a little more specific. They asked like, what was the most challenging thing about being an NFT artist? And I was curious, which project or piece was like the biggest learning experience for you, and how did you learn from it?
I have to say, I think the collab drop that we're doing on March the 5th, the whole group drop, that's definitely been the most challenging, just because, that's crazy, right? I can't wait. Anyway, I think that bit, because of how there's 4 different stars, right? 4 different artists, and it's been an experience trying to combine all of our own styles into one cohesive piece. Like we want you to look at the piece and get lost in the piece, rather than look at the piece and be like, oh, that person did that corner, that person did that corner.
Yeah,
so we want it to be cohesive. So we jumped on a call, we looked through Pinterest at famous artists, and we noticed a lot of people are inspired by Dali, but we don't see a lot of people that are really inspired by Bosch. And so we looked at his Heaven and Hell painting, and that's basically what this piece is inspired by. Just us creating our own little world, and hopefully you can. The more you look at it, the more you see, and it creates a different viewing experience from different distances.
That's going to be awesome. I'm pulling up Bosch's Garden of Earthly. This is on iCanvas, whatever. But yeah, that piece has a lot going on with it, with demons and heaven and hell, and these really wild imagery.
You can just stare at it for ages.
Yeah.
One of those type of pieces. Yeah.
There's there's just like little pockets of it that are just really frightening. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we don't want to get into that. That's exciting. Do you have you posted about that on Twitter so that we can let people know about that drop who were not aware about this group collaboration?
Yeah, I think we'll be having another promotional video out tonight. There was one like quite a while ago, a week ago or something, but we've been posting the assets that we'll be dropping recently, giving little teasers and stuff. But we have a podcast on Jonathan Wolf and Ferocious podcast, the our podcast. We're doing that. We recorded that with myself, Jonathan, Ferocious, Ashley, and Parrot, and hopefully that's coming out tonight. And you might see a face reveal. Who knows?
Oh wow! Well,
Yeah.
and what time is it happening tomorrow?
Okay, so tomorrow it's at, believe 7 p.m. EST.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm really excited about that. That's a monster collaboration.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
We've been working on it for so long, hopping on calls every single day, trying to make this right, and we've just been able to put everything into these assets and this collaboration piece.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm really excited to see what you guys put together. So 7 p.m. EST tomorrow, and sorry, where are you dropping it again?
Nifty Gateway.
Nifty Gateway. Sweet. Yep. All right. Well, and we'll mention that again at the end of our chat too. That's freaking awesome. What is it like? I mean, aside from, it sounds like you had like a pretty good process, looking at Pinterest together and meeting and thinking about having something cohesive together. Do you see yourself doing more collaborations in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the group that we've got now is pretty incredible, and we do want to continue this in the future. So this might not necessarily be the only time you see this group collaborate, but next time.
That's exciting.
Next time we want to grab a very underrated artist and sort of take them under our wing and show them the ropes, and essentially do what Ferocious did for us three. Just wake up one day and just be like, yeah, we're gonna change our life. So that's pretty exciting.
They're so awesome. That just made my heart flutter just thinking about. That's why this space is so cool and different, because people are just like, okay, I'm going higher and I'm going to take you with me. There isn't this sense of like, there's no room at the quote top. Mm-hmm. There's room for everybody to just make their art. And even if it's like, I mean, there's a lot of people doing like maybe, there's a ton of different 3D artists, but it's not like, 3D artists, won't try to help each other because they're doing 3D art, It's a really beautiful thing. And also it's really cool that many people can work together and it just like gels. It's like rare. So I'm excited to hear you'll be doing more with them. Hopefully soon too. Yeah.
I'm excited too.
So we have another question. This is a good one. Now with the growth of NFTs in the space, artists can focus more on their work. Do you feel your own creative process and talent has evolved?
Definitely. And I think this collaborative project that we've been working on has really been eye-opening, because we can spend so long on these pieces, get them perfect, and it's just been amazing being able to take it at our own pace, look at a piece, wake up, think, does that need changing, change it. Whereas before it would be like, I need to push this out because it's a daily post and my fans need this, my followers need this. But yeah, it's been real nice that we have that freedom, and we can just get lost in our own pieces, get lost in the creative process, and create something that hopefully touches you guys, and you can really see us through the canvas.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just was showing an example of like a piece from 30 weeks ago in July of 2020. And then just scrolling through your Instagram and seeing, you've played with a lot of different, styles and mediums, it looks like. And all very successful experiments, I would say. They're really beautiful
Thank you.
pieces. Yeah. And how do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, in 5 years, still in this space for sure. No matter what happens to the space, I'll still be in it. Because it's given me such an opportunity, and I don't want to take that for granted. And everyone that's involved and everyone that's collected my work, I feel like I owe it to them to continue this journey. Again, I'm not too sure where. I haven't really thought about the future. I'm still trying to take every day as it goes, because this space moves so fast, as you said. Yeah, I don't really know how to answer that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I don't always know how to answer. I don't really know how to answer that question myself. But
Yeah.
I think it's just interesting to think about, you know, especially like you said, how fast things move in this space. It's like, it feels like 5 years of progress in 6 months, especially having the freedom to devote that much time to your work.
Yeah.
It just, obviously, like, you know, if you have that many more hours to hone your craft and think about what you want, it's like having 5 years to yourself, you know? So who knows what can happen in 1 year or 2 years too. And then just the unpredictable space on its own. It's it's exciting. Like, I don't feel like it's not an ominous thing at all. You know, I think things are going really well for the NFT space right now. Actually, what's your opinion on these sort of more established artists coming into the space now and the mainstream attention? How do you feel about it, and how do you think it will affect? How do you think it'll affect the health of the space?
I guess you just got to understand if they're coming in for a quick cash grab, or if they're serious about this space. I want them to be genuine if they're entering this space. I've seen like big influencers recently jump in, make like 5 million, and then start making a massive thing about NFTs. That might be the tipping point for them to just be like, yeah, this is something like I can get behind, something I can believe in. But we didn't see these people a couple of years ago or months ago talking about this space or any cryptocurrency, to be honest. So yeah, I think it just depends on their intentions.
Yeah, that's true. And I think even if their intentions are, maybe more self-serving and they don't really understand the space, it's still bringing more eyes to the NFT space and like what artists are doing. I think. Sorry, go on.
That is a great way of looking at it, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to be some negatives when things start to become mainstream, or maybe not always, but I think because of the strong community and the strong artist and creator community that we have, I think it's a good thing, and like the people with the good intentions and who want to be part of a community like this, it's the mainstream attention is only gonna bring more people like that. And I think that people who already had money, they have the means to like come into the space, or not even already have money, but if they already have clout and or money,
that's an influence. Yeah,
I mean, like, for better or for worse, like that's how it is in any industry. People, if there's money to be made, people who have the money to invest are going to be there first too. But I think, like I said, the community, I think, is going to be what creates the longevity in this space.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, people talk about this being a bubble, but maybe it's a bubble for the people that try to get in and out. But I think that we're all here to stay for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your like biggest creative influences? Any artists or people in your life that inspired you?
I think my main inspirations probably have to be Ferocious, Etienne Krauss, and Jonathan Wolf, just because I knew about these guys before the NFT space. I was always supporting their work, always looking up to their work, and all of their work makes me feel something, right? And it's just crazy that, well, I'm now working with two of them, but the inspiration comes from less of their work and more so how they present themselves. Like Ferocious, like he's got the most energy I've ever seen in any human ever. He's crazy, and the way he just carries himself and can just be himself, that's taught me a lot. That I can just be myself. I can just be me in this space, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. Ferocious is just an amazing human being, and they're just so sincere. Like I think I've talked about it before in another artist Fireside chat where Ferocious has come up, and their video when they sold like one of their pieces, they were like, oh, like I painted this and I didn't think anyone would want it, and it just sold for like $3,000, and they were just like so hype, and like that video just is so heartwarming to watch, and just you can just tell so much about like who they are as a person through that one video. And yeah, I think authenticity takes artists really far in this space, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I've got to shout out Parrot here because his videos, just talking about the NFT space, was a big stepping stone as to why I've now, well, you haven't seen it yet, but I've revealed my face, and I'm now going to start making videos and talking about a bit about my life and a bit about the space and how it's affected me, because I think it's important that the people that are helping me the most get to know how it affects me, and I feel a video is a great way of displaying that.
Yeah, I hear you on like wanting to not share your face. Actually, like what are your reasons? And I mean, I think I saw you say you had mentioned. I saw you say it somewhere, and you might have mentioned that you don't want to show your face because you want people to just connect with your art. But at the same time, I think there's something to be said for connecting with the person behind the art too. What do you think about this idea that like, oh, you can't conflate the art with the artist?
Could you reword the question? I'm sorry.
Like sometimes people will say like you can't confuse like the art with the artist. Like, you know, I think in music it might happen more. Like, you know, like a songwriter could write a song about something that didn't happen, but people like really identify with the story of it because it feels so authentic. But you know, it doesn't really reflect anything about the artist, or maybe the song is like really, I don't know, like dirty or like says really fucked up stuff, but the person's like not really like that in real life, you know. Yeah.
I guess if it's helping people, I feel like, yeah, if it's helping people, then that's fine, right? So you can put out a piece of art, you may not have felt what you're portraying on the canvas, but if other people can look at that and it helps them in some way, maybe they're having an awful day, maybe they've had a dark time in their life, and this brought back some memories. I think anything like that, where it can affect someone, I feel like whatever that artist creates is going to be good. I don't have any disrespect for those types of artists. I've probably created a few pieces like that myself, just knowing that it's going to help someone. So I have utmost respect for people that do that.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I mean, there's so many facets to like human experience, and that's what creative license is you can create worlds that you haven't experienced or witnessed, and that's what it's about, I think. We have another question from the chat. Until now, this type of art is not very well known. I think they're saying we see a lot of maybe what looks like digital art, I guess, like glitch art or whatever, which is also really cool. But I think to see this type of work, the rest of the question, they say, in the long term, how do you see the integration of new artists and collectors? So I guess having new styles and stuff coming into the space.
I think anyone that comes in looking to just anyone that's looking to enter this space, don't be afraid to jump in with whatever style you've got going on at the moment. Don't change your style to fit this space. I see a lot of people, and no disrespect, but I see a lot of people throwing in Ethereum logos and Bitcoin logos that probably never invested in those cryptocurrencies or even know what they do for the space. So I feel like just be genuine with your art, and don't be afraid to just put yourself out there. I think the more emotion, the better, to be honest, just because people love to see the artist behind the art. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's really good advice too. Don't change your style to suit what seems like the flavor of the month, because it has to just feel good to you as the artist when you're making it, I think. And not even just that it feels good to you, or it's just that you might have expressed something that people can connect with too.
Yeah.
It's sometimes. Sorry,
and
go on.
With how big this space is, you want to be unique. So if you have something that you're doing that nobody else is doing, you should push for that. You should try and get that on as many platforms as possible. Maybe just make videos about your art process or why you've done such a thing. Just get your name out there. I see a lot of photographers entering the scene right now, whereas a couple months ago that wasn't really a thing, but I did see photographers wanting to get into the space. So I feel like just make that leap, and if you're unique, then that's the best way you're going to stand out amongst everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's only you can do what you do the way that you do it. Nobody can, you can play with the same tools or the same mediums, but it's really hard not to compare yourself as an artist too. There's merit in, or not merit, but it feels good to look at other artists and be inspired by their work. But I think there's a dark side to that sometimes, where it can become, you think about what you're doing too much. And I think younger artists or artists who are new to the space that want to be noticed, it can be hard to balance that, balance that out, between being inspired by other people and then worrying about trying to follow some kind of trend or to be like somebody else to get noticed.
Yeah. Because
trends die, you know, like we can have like a new meme of the day, but if you'll only stop being you know, when you pass. So just create art that you want to create and be patient.
it's definitely going to be harder because it's not what you're seeing all over the place. But once you are noticed, people will be able to recognize you in an instant, and then I think that's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. You'll only stop being you when you pass Odious 2021. That's what Spazzy said. Yeah. So true. It's a good one. Yeah. What? Hold on one second. I'm distracted by some background noise.
No, that's all good.
So really related to that, you had mentioned earlier that you wanted to help unknown artists or up and coming artists. How do you see yourself doing that in the future? And do you have any names that you'd want to mention?
Yeah. So I'm just going on new platforms like Foundation. I started collecting on Nifty Gateway back in September when I jumped into this space, because I felt that if I'm in this space, then I've got to believe in this space. And so all of my sales, or like 95% of my sales up until like a couple of weeks ago, went into other artists' work. Because, yeah, like I said, I believe in this space. I believe in the longevity, and I want to be able to help people along the way. And it feels amazing when you get a DM or something like, "You've just helped me pay rent. You've put food on the table for me." Like it's crazy that those sort of DMs, it does get me emotional. But recently I hopped on Foundation. I woke up, I saw a few pieces, I won a few, I lost a few. And they're all incredible artists, and they're all very underrated. If I go on my Foundation now, I can tell you their names. So first one is from, okay, I'm gonna butcher his name, but Koto to whom, and it's a piece called Ride. I got it for 0.25 ETH, and it's just a beautiful retro synthwave loop, and it just caught my attention. The colors are amazing. I can link if you want. I don't know. If you want me
Sorry,
to
my mic was muted. Yeah, if you can share the link, that would be awesome, and I'll pull it up on here.
That's the.
Ooh, that's beautiful. Can you guys see that? Yeah.
I picked up this other piece by Mitchell Eaton. It's called King of the Jungle. I looked at this piece, and the music was amazing. It fit the theme so well, and the colors just blew me away. I was surprised to get it for 1.2 ETH, to be honest. But it's this one. And then finally, a piece called Good Morning. And I actually bought this piece because it has a spider, and I hate spiders. It made me feel something. And the overall message of just, it's a beautiful new day in the sunflower field. We watch a field resident begin their morning routine. It's looking like a productive day. Like that description just made me want to buy the piece, because it just made me feel about everything that's going on around us is 24/7, and although all the shit's happening with the world right now, it's pretty much the same for these guys, and it just seemed pretty cool. And then I noticed there's a little heart on the back of the spider. The guy that I bought it off reached out and told me that there's a little Easter egg, and I thought that just completed the piece for me, to be honest.
Let's just do that again. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like refreshing. You know, it feels like I can feel the warmth of the sun in this piece.
Yeah.
And like fresh air. It just like really captured the mood of that. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
These are great. Thanks for sharing them with us too.
Yeah, no worries. You should check those guys out. Anyone in the comments?
Is there any advice that you wish you had gotten when you started out in this space that you would give to a budding artist?
Be patient. Don't look at other people's sales and think, why is that not me? Because although there's a lot of beautiful art out there, there is a stroke of luck with everything you do. And so the right time, the right place, make yourself known, reach out to the community. Everyone's so talkative on Twitter, always so supportive. Just make genuine connections. It's very transparent when someone's just trying to like use you for clout or use you for a collaboration or something like that. Try to avoid that, and when you do make it big, don't fall into the trap of accepting like everyone's collaboration and everyone's praise, because sometimes they're only there to piggyback off your success. So don't fall into that trap.
Yeah, sometimes saying yes too much is, you're spreading yourself too thin, and also, might not be working with people who have the best intentions. Yeah, I feel like it's easy to tell when you have an authentic connection with somebody, and if you feel that anything is amiss, then it's probably a no-go. You should listen to that. So we're already getting close to the hour, which I feel like has passed really quickly.
Yeah, that's gone so fast. I was so nervous about this call, and you could probably hear it in my voice, but yeah, it's been fun.
Oh no, you actually have a very relaxing voice to listen to. You didn't sound nervous at all.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And thank you for being with us, even though you felt nervous. It's always a little bit awkward doing anything live, I think. So I hope that you felt welcome and comfortable with our community, because we were really happy to have you, and grateful that you graced us with your presence and your wisdom today.
No problem. I wanted to say one last thing. I want to make a piece for you guys, just for you bringing me on board, having this conversation. I think it was really nice that you guys reached out. So I'm going to create a piece for you, and is there a wallet I can send it to? If you can get that to me in DMs or something, I can try and distribute that across your community.
Oh, yeah. We'll work that out in a DM, and that's amazing. Thank you so much. The whale community, on behalf of all of us, that would be incredible. Wow, cool. That's really cool. I can't wait to see what that is. So we'll talk about that later. And do you have any new projects or drops that we should know about? Do you want to share the link? Or actually, everybody just needs to go to Nifty Gateway tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, correct?
Yeah, so Nifty Gateway tomorrow with my best friends, Paradigm, Jonathan Wolf, Odious. We're doing a collaborative drop on Nifty Gateway. We've got open editions. We're going to have an incentive for you to buy another open edition. We've got physicals. We've been working on this figure that has all of our styles combined into one, and that was probably one of the most fun projects I've done in this space. As for myself personally, I haven't released this yet, but I have a meme drop on the 22nd, I believe. And then I have a few announcements. I want to make a collectible project that's been in the works for a while. I've actually got 2 collectible projects because 2 fantastic engineers reached out and they want to work on something pretty interesting. So be on the lookout for that. I've got a long roadmap ahead, and so have the other guys that I'm dropping a collaboration with. So you should all follow all of those guys because they're amazing.
That's awesome. It sounds like you have a lot happening in the near future, and I'm really excited to see what comes out from that. And so everybody, again, follow Odious everywhere. Keep your ears to the ground. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, be on Nifty Gateway, watch the action, get in on it. And thank you again for being with us. It was really great getting to know you. And I hope you all have a magical day.
Likewise.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.